Hey everybody, it's Old Murray back with you again on the latest version of our Tuesday car talk. Just got off work a few minutes ago and fixing to head to the house and round me up one of those cold Miller Lights. But before I go, I wanted to pull over and have a little talk with you. I'm under a shade tree, but it's about 97 here in south central Texas, so I got my windows up because I don't want no passersby to disturb me. So it'll get warm in here pretty quick. I want to talk to you about a subject that I might get a lot of feedback on. I was talking about concealed carry and what's a good weapon to carry for your own protection. And you know, they got a lot of sweet little 22s out there on the market now that are in a compact pistol size. And I love to shoot 22s. I've got one that is a single action. It's a clone of a Colt single action Western type revolver, and it'll shoot 22 and 22 Magnum. And I love to take it to the range and plunk away with it. But friends, when it comes to self-protection, I'm not going to be carrying a 22. And I'm not trying to badmouth those of you that are, but the failure of a rimfire cartridge to always fire bothers me. When you're in a situation where one misfire might cost you your life, I just wouldn't want to take a chance on that. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't carry one as a backup if that's all I had. But I'll be honest with you, and I've even considered buying a 380 to carry. And I might yet. But I think in my situation, I don't believe that I want to carry anything smaller than a 9mm. You know, we can all live with a 9mm. It'll do the job, and it's still fun to shoot. Recently, I purchased a Taurus Public Defender that'll shoot 45 long Colt, and it'll also shoot 410 shotgun shell. And I carry that in the car sometimes. But when I've got something stuck in my waist or in a holster, it's going to be that 9mm. And what I carry, and I've been carrying for going on 5 years now, is a Smith & Wesson 9mm shield. It's never failed to shoot. I don't care what kind of ammunition I feed it, it shoots it. I can honestly say in those 5 years I've had it, I have never had a misfire. Never. I've never had a jam. So I'm a big believer in that 9mm shield. And they've come out with several later models than what I have. And mine has a safety on it. And I know there's a lot of people that don't like to carry with a safety on. But I do. I could do without it. Like if it had a real heavy trigger pull, then I could do without the safety. But on this little shield, and sometimes I carry an appendix. I just feel better with that safety on, and I train myself when I do dry fire exercises and what have you, that every time I draw that pistol, safety off, safety off, safety off. I've got that pretty well beat into my brain, what little bit of brain I got left. Safety off and fire, safety off and fire. But that's me. Everybody's different. And I'll be honest with you, I love a good revolver, and I don't have one other than the 22. I'm considering getting one of those, and if I get one of those, it'll probably be a 357. Because you can shoot 357, you can shoot 38 specials in it. And had I known when I bought that Taurus Public Defender that you wasn't going to be able to buy no damn ammunition for it, I wouldn't have bought it. And I've paid some hellacious prices for some 410 ammunition. And that's about a $400 gun when you throw in taxes and all that. And it hasn't even had one box fired through it. And that booger lets you know you shot something. I've never had a gun that when I shoot it, that it burns the palm of my hand. Instead of kicking up, it kicks straight back. It's nothing I can't handle, I mean, to be honest with you. And they call it the perfect carjacker gun. Because he comes up here and busts your window out and you aim that thing at him, loaded with buckshot, and some of these self-defense loads they're making for them now, it wouldn't be fun to be on the other end of it. And thanks to a good friend of mine, several good friends of mine, I've got ammunition. But it's expensive. It's expensive. So hopefully someday it'll get back like it was and you can be able to go buy 410 shells anywhere at any time for a reasonable price. And I've got another Smith & Wesson, one of the first ones that I got, and it's a 9mm, but it's a full size. I believe they call it an SD or VD, something like that. It's got a heavy trigger pull on it, and it'll hold 15 plus 1. So it'll hold 16 rounds. And when wintertime rolls around where I'm wearing heavier clothing, I may start carrying it again. Because my little shield will only hold 8. Which 8-9mm ought to be enough in most situations. But the way things are getting nowadays, I saw a carjacking the other day on video and 4 of them rolled up in a van and all 4 jumped out on this guy at the same time. You're probably going to need more than 8 rounds in a situation like that. But anyway, that's my opinion. I've also, thanks to my kids, I've got a double gauge, not a double barrel. I've got a 12 gauge pump Remington 870. And I had one on when I was 19 and now I'm 78 and it kicks my butt. I'd be better off with a 20. But it's hanging on the rack. And I don't think it's had one box put through it. So I've got 2 or 3 shotguns and 2 or 3 .22 rifles and a .22 pistol and 3 more handguns. So we're in good shape if anybody wants to jump on us, which I pray to God that never happens. The worst thing I can imagine is having to shoot somebody. I don't want to do that. But there's a thing worse than that, and that's a member of my family being hurt. That's not going to happen if I can stop it. So that's my little piece on carrying, and like I said, enjoy your 22s. There ain't a damn thing wrong with them. I love to shoot them. but I just wouldn't advise you carrying one for self-defense. If you want something a little not quite as heavy hitting as a 9mm, get you a 380. At least it's a center fire cartridge. And they're just, let's face it, friends, a center fire cartridge is just much more trustworthy and reliable. So that's my 2 cents worth. Believe it or not, I'm not talking about the border today. I'm not talking about Afghanistan, and I'm not talking about slimy Joe Biden, because I can't stand him. He's a traitor. And General White Rage Milley is a traitor, both of them. And they both need to go. And I'll leave it at that for today. It's getting pretty warm, and I'll be making a full-fledged podcast in the little makeshift studio at home with the AC running and able to do a little more. So thank you, friends, for listening. And I hope this helps you out if you have been trying to decide on what kind of gun to carry. And like I said, that's just my opinion. There's an old saying about opinions. It's kind of like something else. Everybody's got one. But anyway, that's all for now. I'm going to go get that Miller Lite, and I'll be talking to you again on down the road. Goodbye, everybody.